Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me again. And today we're looking at an interesting new set of iems, which are these from HiDIZS. They are the MP145, and I think they're really interesting for a number of reasons. So firstly, they feature a large 14.5mm planar magnetic driver. Remember, planar magnetic iems are still much less common than dynamic driver and balanced armature sets. The 7Hz Timeless, one of my favourite iems, feature a planar magnetic driver design too. So we'll definitely be comparing the MP145 against the Timeless. The next thing that's interesting is that the MP145 are currently only available via the Kickstarter campaign. Now that should be live, and I'll put a link to the Kickstarter in the video description. The early bird price was $109, absolute bargain, although I think that was limited to the first 200 backers and has sold out. I think there are now 500 backer slots to get these at $139. Thirdly, these have been designed in collaboration with the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Charity. HiDIZS are hoping to raise awareness of the plight of marine life and the importance of its conservation work. So that whale-inspired design can clearly be seen when we look at these iems. They are quite chunky, as they have to be, I guess, to house that huge 14.5mm driver. They do, however, look elegant in their machined aluminium stylings. You can see a whale tail motif along with some curved ridges which are meant to mimic the rorqual pleat on the undersurface of a whale. Despite their bulky size, they are lightweight, and each IEM weighs less than 10 grams apiece, and they fit really comfortably in my ears even after extended periods of listening. You do get a fine selection of comfortable silicone tips of various sizes, and the cable is really good quality. It's thick and tangle-free. Now mine came with a 4.4mm balanced plug, but you can of course get a more standard 3.5mm version too. Another interesting feature is that there are interchangeable nozzle tips included, which HiDIZS claim alter the sound signature a little bit. So I tried all three of the tips, and my preference is for the rose gold balance tips. There are red tips which emphasize the bass a little bit more, as well as the silver tips which give a slightly brighter upper mid-range focus and an extended treble response. So let's get on to the sound impressions then, and as my pair feature a 4.4mm connector, I paired them up with my FiiO M11 Plus DAP and also hooked them up to my Q-Style M15 dongle DAC. Fantastic bit of kit that. The impedance of the MP145 is 30 ohms and their sensitivity is 104 decibels, so you should be able to drive them relatively easily from most portable audio sources. Music-wise, I've been listening to the latest Slowdive album, which is called Everything is Alive. It's a kind of a classic dream pop, or shoegaze if you like, record, and it features layers of hazy guitars and whispered vocals. I've also really been digging the expanded remaster of Emerald's 2010 album, Does It Look Like I'm Here?, which combines analog synths and electric guitars in really interesting ways. I've also run all my usual test tracks through them, such as Massive Attack's Inertia Creeps, Biceps Aura, and a truckload of Radiohead Through the Ages. So, in terms of frequency response, these are definitely quite bassy headphones. You do get plenty of sub-bass rumble, but the predominant impression is a very punchy mid-bass, which makes bass-heavy EDM tracks particularly impactful. The bass feels satisfyingly textured and elastic, and it's reasonably fast. It certainly kicks really hard on the bicep track. Thankfully, the bass doesn't bloom or bleed into the lower mids, and if you like your mid-bass kick, you will love the MP145s, honestly. The mids are fairly neutral, with just a little bit of energy brought to the upper mids, but there's no shoutiness, don't worry. Vocals stand out particularly well and have a nice organic quality to them. The treble is well extended, but it's on the smooth side. So this means that there are no jagged treble peaks, which can be quite fatiguing in all honesty. But it also means that acoustic music in particular can sometimes just lack that little bit of sparkle and air. You get that with the 7Hz Timeless, although the treble on the Timeless can sometimes be a little bit abrasive, particularly with poorer quality recordings. Now, the technicalities are all very good for the price. Soundstage is reasonable with good imaging, and the detail retrieval is adequate, but not quite as sharp as the Timeless. Timbre, though, particularly acoustic instruments and vocals, is natural, and there are no harsh metallic overtones to the percussion. Overall, I think that these sound like a slightly tamer, more well-behaved version of the 7Hz Timeless, which, remember, are also planar magnetic iems. The Timeless are definitely a little bit more detailed and perhaps just a little bit more dynamic and exciting due to that sharper treble. But the MP145 sound signature is definitely more laid back in the treble, and they are overall an easier, more comfortable and equally enjoyable listen. I've found that even the bright silver nozzle filter tip doesn't add too much heat to the treble, doesn't make it harsh. So overall, I really like the MP145. I think they're a bit of a bargain at $139. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Thank you very much to HiDIZS for sending these to me free of charge for evaluation. As ever, I've not been paid for this review. HiDIZS are not sponsoring the channel or the video. So I hope you can trust that these are my honest thoughts. If you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, do consider subscribing and look out for more videos coming up very soon.